On the porch of that farmhouse stood 4 tables. Each one had a patient on it with a surgeon standing over him, and beside him a pile of corn leaves. They were using corn leaves as bandages. Oh, be grateful, ladies, for all those sheets and petticoats that you cut up and rolled. Because for you that day, those men gave thanks and blessings. 3 times that day, the battle came to that little farmhouse. Twice more, our boys were driven back and then pushed forward again. Each time, dozens of wounded men joined our ranks. The fighting was so thick that pretty soon we could hear explosions in the trees outside. We could hear them among the men lying on the ground. Bullets even peppered the upper floors of that farmhouse until it was riddled with holes. By noon, the smoke was so thick we could not see more than a few inches in front of us. The hot breath of sulfur dried out our lips until they bled. At one point, as I walked through the barnyard, a soldier lying on the ground asked me, please, a drink of water. So I went to the pails of water and I fetched him an invalid cup filled with water. I lifted up his head with my left hand, and with my right hand, I held the water to his lips. Suddenly, I felt a twitch in my sleeve and the soldier jerked back. A mini ball had entered my sleeve and slammed right into his chest, killing him instantly. There was nothing more that I could do for him, so I covered him with a blanket and left. It seemed poor thanks for all that he had suffered. Do you know, I never have mended that hole in my sleeve. I wonder sometimes if soldiers ever mend the bullet holes in their sleeves. The way that these men could endure pain. At one point, I saw another young man lying on the ground with a bullet under his cheek. He gave me this imploring look, so I went over. What is it? Is it your cheek? No. I could not possibly take it out myself. Let me fetch a surgeon for you. Well, I'm sure one can come for you. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. All right. If the pain is that intense, I will get it out. This was a new call. I had never before cut the nerves and fibers of human flesh. I took a pocket knife out and I prepared. I'm sorry, I cannot possibly hurt you so much. He gave me as much of a smile as his mangled face could manage and told me I could not possibly hurt him. He could endure any pain, he said, that my hands created. How could I ignore that? So I opened up the blade of my pocket knife and I prepared. A young sergeant from Illinois was sitting next to him. He had a bullet directly through both legs. He had been watching us this entire time. And when he saw me start to prepare with no one to help, he offered to help. He managed to sit up, slid himself over, held this young man's head in his hands while I cut that bullet out and then washed and bandaged up the face. I do not think any surgeon would have said it was a very scientific operation, but my patient was so relieved and so grateful. I dare to hope it was at least successful.